I am recorder Jalen Crow of the Neutral Accord, and before you ask, yes, I was there when everything went wrong. Also, yes, humans were involved. That detail alone should explain the scale of what followed. Our job as Neutral Accord observers was simple. Watch conflicts, report facts, stay uninvolved. Easy work most of the time. Then the Vorton Dominion decided to test boundaries, and humanity decided boundaries were optional when angered. The conflict itself was small at first. Border disputes, trade routes, the usual arguments powerful species pretend are about principle while secretly counting profits. Humans joined the negotiations as medical support and mediators. They parked a hospital ship in neutral space. Bright white hull, massive red medical symbols, broadcasting clear identification codes across every frequency. Even pirates knew those symbols meant do not shoot. Apparently, the Dominion did not. I remember the exact moment. Sensors detected incoming fire. Commander Ilrex of the Dominion claimed it was an accident. Weapons locked accidentally. Triggered accidentally. Hit the hospital ship repeatedly by accident. That is a lot of accidents. Inside our observation deck, Analyst Poro whispered, "They can't be that stupid." I answered, "Wait for the human response." The hospital ship did not explode dramatically. It simply broke apart slowly, lights flickering out one by one. Escape pods launched. Medical staff transmitted distress calls. The channel was filled with voices trying to stay calm. One human doctor said, "Keep breathing, we're getting you out." Another voice replied, coughing, "Tell my wife I'm sorry about the kitchen." Humans joke at the worst moments. I still don't understand it. Dominion broadcasts immediately claimed self-defense. They said the hospital ship was hiding weapons. The accusation was absurd. Every treaty confirmed it was unarmed. Then silence fell across communications. The kind of silence that feels heavy. Pora looked at me. Are they preparing a complaint? I shook my head. No, they're deciding something. Hours passed. Rescue efforts began. Human civilians and allied medics pulled survivors from the wreckage. They did not fire back. They did not shout threats. They just worked quietly. That scared me more than anger would have. Then a message arrived from Earth. Single line. We saw. No demands. No insults. Nothing else. Commander Ilrex laughed publicly. Emotional species, he said. They will protest and move on. I wrote that statement into my record because later it would sound extremely foolish. 2 days later, long-range sensors detected movement near Seoul. At first we thought it was a relief convoy. Then the numbers kept increasing. Fleet signatures. Hundreds. Then thousands. Poro leaned toward the display. That's not a convoy. No, it was not. Humans assembled ships from everywhere. Military vessels. Old carriers. Civilian transports modified for support roles. Escort ships, painted with medical insignia, flying beside heavy destroyers. They moved with terrifying purpose. No loud speeches. No dramatic declarations. Just movement. Dominion intelligence underestimated it instantly. Commander Ilrex said, "They are emotional. Their formations are inefficient." I stared at the data. Their formations are intentional. Human fleets looked messy at first glance. Different ship designs. Different speeds. No perfect symmetry. But when analyzed closely, everything supported everything else. Layers of protection. Redundancy. Flexibility. It looked like disorder. It was strategy. A human transmission open to all channels. Calm voice. Female. Name identifier read Captain Mira Holt. "You fired on a hospital ship," she said quietly. "We're coming for the survivors you left behind." Ilrex laughed again. "We control this sector." Mira responded, "Not for long." Transmission ended. The first clash happened near the wreckage. Dominion ships positioned themselves between human rescue teams and remaining escape pods. Tactical decision. Logical. Effective. Then humans did something unexpected. They sent medical ships first. Unarmed vessels moved forward while warships held back. Shields extended to protect them. Dominion commanders hesitated. Shooting again would look bad. That pause lasted only seconds, but humans used every one. Rescue operations began under protection. Small fighters darted around larger vessels, drawing fire away without escalating fully. They were not trying to win yet. They were trying to save people. I watched one pilot broadcast openly, laughing breathlessly. "Hey, I'm not dying on a Tuesday. Somebody owes me coffee." Another replied, "Focus on flying." Even under fire, humor. Dominion commanders grew frustrated. They expected retaliation. Instead, humans prioritized evacuation. When the last escape pod was secured, everything changed. Captain Myra's voice returned. "Calm. Controlled. Rescue complete," she said. "Now we talk." Dominion ships opened fire. That was the moment history shifted. Human warships moved forward as one. The previously messy formation aligned instantly. Weapons powered up. Energy signatures spiked across the sector. Poro whispered, "That's a lot of firepower." I nodded slowly. They brought everything. The battle erupted. Not wild, not reckless. Controlled fury. Humans targeted weapons arrays and engines, disabling ships instead of destroying them outright. Precision mixed with overwhelming pressure. Dominion tactics relied on intimidation. Humans ignored intimidation completely. At one point, Commander Ilrex shouted across channels, "You're overreacting." Captain Mira answered, "You shot doctors." No sarcasm, no anger, just fact. Dominion lines began collapsing. Ships attempted retreat, only to find human forces already positioned to intercept. They anticipated escape routes before the battle even began. That was when I understood. The fleet wasn't assembled out of rage. It was planned, carefully, quietly, relentlessly. As Dominion ships surrendered, human medical crews immediately moved to assist wounded from both sides. That confused everyone. Poro asked, "Why help them?" I replied, "Because humans don't separate mercy from strength." The battle ended faster than anyone predicted. Dominion command channels filled with disbelief. Their assumption had been simple. Humans were emotional, therefore predictable. They were wrong. Humans were emotional, therefore unstoppable when given a reason. I recorded the final conversation between Captain Mira and Commander Ilrex. Ilrex said, defeated, "You brought a fleet for a single ship." Mira answered softly, "It wasn't just a ship. It was trust." Silence followed. As the human fleet held position, lights from repair ships illuminated the battlefield. Not victory celebrations. Just work. Quiet, determined work. And that is where I end part one. Because what followed was even bigger. Earth had answered with fury, yes. But the galaxy had not yet realized what message that fury sent. I am still recorder Jalen Crow. And if my tone sounds more cautious now, it is because I witnessed what happened after the battle, and I learned something unsettling about humans. Their anger is loud. Their patience is louder. After the Dominion surrendered at the wreckage site, most observers expected celebration, maybe revenge, maybe speeches filled with threats. Instead, humans did something infuriatingly calm. They started rebuilding. Repair ships moved between damaged vessels. Medical teams treated Dominion soldiers alongside their own wounded. Human engineers argued about tools while welding hull plates back together. Someone played music over open channels. It sounded cheerful. Wrong moment for cheerful, if you ask me. Analyst Poro stared at the feed. They just fought a battle. Yes, I said. They're acting like it's cleanup day. Also yes. Commander Ilrex remained under guard aboard his flagship. Pride wounded more than his ship. He requested communication with Captain Mira Holt. She accepted without hesitation. I watched the exchange closely. Ilrex said, "You won. Why continue occupying the sector?" Mira replied, "We aren't occupying anything. We're making sure no one shoots another hospital ship." Simple, direct, annoyingly reasonable. The Dominion tried to regain control politically. Broadcasts spread across nearby systems claiming humans had escalated unnecessarily. That might have worked, if not for one problem. Survivors, doctors, nurses, medics. They told their stories. Calm voices describing rescue operations, defensive maneuvers, and the moment humans refused to abandon them. Public opinion shifted faster than diplomacy could react. Even species that dislike humans admitted one thing. firing on a hospital ship crossed a line, and humans enforced that line. Days later, the Dominion High Command arrived with reinforcements. Not enough to fight, but enough to look strong. Warships filled the edges of the sector. Tension rose again. Poro whispered, "Are we doing this twice?" I wasn't sure. Human fleets remained in position, silent. No aggressive movement, just presence. A wall made of patience. Then something unexpected happened. A small civilian convoy entered the area. Refugees caught between disputed borders. Normally, they would avoid active conflict zones, but their navigation had failed. Dominion ships ignored them. Humans didn't. Without hesitation, human escorts broke formation to guide the convoy to safety. Even Dominion officers watched in confusion. One alien commander muttered, "They risk tactical advantage for strangers?" I answered quietly, "Yes. That's kind of their thing." Captain Mira opened a channel to both sides. "Let them pass," she said. "No threats. Just expectation." Dominion commanders hesitated but complied. It was the first time they followed a human request without argument. Small change, big meaning. Meanwhile, investigators from the Neutral Accord arrived to review what happened to the hospital ship. Evidence was clear. Weapon logs confirmed intentional targeting. Dominion excuses collapsed quickly. Commander Ilrex knew it. He requested one last private meeting with Mira. I was granted observation access, and what I heard surprised me. Ilrex said, "I thought humans were ruled by emotion." Mira smiled slightly. "We are. That should make you reckless. It makes us protective." Silence filled the room. Ilrex leaned forward. "You risked war." Mira answered calmly. "You risked trust first." That sentence hit harder than any weapon. Outside, fleets remained ready. Everyone expected negotiations to fail. Tension stretched thin enough to snap. Then humans did something impossible to predict. They reduced their weapons' power. Not fully, just enough to signal confidence. Dominion sensors detected it immediately. Confusion spread through their ranks. Poro stared at the readings. "Why lower defenses now?" I thought carefully before replying. They're daring the Dominion to choose peace. And it worked. Dominion High Command, facing political pressure and undeniable evidence, agreed to reparations. New treaty clauses were drafted. Medical vessels received reinforced protected status. Violations would trigger automatic coalition response, not just human intervention. Humans could have demanded control. Instead, they demanded accountability. The agreement was signed aboard a neutral station. Captain Mira attended in simple uniform, no decorations. Dominion officials looked exhausted. Afterward, a Dominion officer approached her and asked, "Why did you stop after victory?" She laughed quietly. "Because we came to protect, not conquer." That answer spread across the networks faster than battle footage. Back on the observation deck, Poro asked me the question I had been avoiding. Were humans angry? I considered every moment I had recorded. The silence after the hospital ship, the rescue operations, the controlled battlefield, the negotiations. "Yes," I said finally. "Extremely." He frowned. They didn't look angry. Exactly. That was the lesson. Human fury was not screaming. It was focus. They did not lash out blindly. They chose targets carefully. They separated punishment from cruelty. And that made them terrifying. As fleets prepared to depart, Captain Mira transmitted a final message across open channels. "Hospital ships carry hope," she said. "You don't shoot hope." No applause followed. No dramatic ending. Just ships turning toward home. I watched the human fleet leave slowly, escorting damaged vessels and medical transports. Even now, they kept the healers at the center of their formation, protective to the end. Commander Ilrex resigned shortly after. Dominion politics shifted. New training programs appeared, emphasizing restraint and protocol around humanitarian missions. One mistake had rewritten military doctrine across half the region, and humans went back to normal life. That part still confuses me most. After everything, their pilots joked about missed sleep. Engineers complained about paperwork. Medics compared recipes, like it was just another week. As I finalize this record, I keep replaying Myra's words. "You shot doctors. Such a simple statement. No poetry, no grand speech. Yet it moved fleets. Earth answered with fury, yes. But the real message was clear to everyone watching. If you threaten those who heal, humanity will arrive. Not screaming, not raging, just certain. And certainty, I have learned, is far more dangerous than anger. If this story entertained or taught you something, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more stories like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next story.